There's a saying, if you allow your passion to become your purpose,
it will one day become your profession. Our job is to give people the opportunity at the fish of a lifetime. But on our days off,
it's our turn. So this time of year, we decided to go offshore and really kind of key in on that snapper spawn. And you know, when you get a really good snapper bite, it is a whole lot of fun.
The snapper spawn, we're kind of right in the beginning of it, is definitely one of my favorite things to do out off of Sarasota.
It was an absolute gorgeous morning. You know, light winds, beautiful day to be running offshore. And just the opportunity to get out there and maybe even make a little bit longer run than we would normally do was a great day to do it. Well, Jeremy, we're in your neck of the woods today, baby.
We are.
What we got?
Well, we have 0 wind and literally 0. So we're gonna poke out here, I don't know, 20, 30,
yeah,
30 miles, maybe a little more.
When it looks like a lake, why not, right?
It does, yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna see what we can do out here. The bait situation's a little sketchy given the water conditions.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep bait alive right now with the red tide. But we'll see what we can do. We're just gonna go fishing.
All right, let's do it.
Ready?
Huh? Yeah.
Let's go. Recently, we've spent a lot of time down in the harbor, or Charlotte Harbor, on Jay's home turf, and this time we got to spend a little time in my hometown, where I was born and raised. And Sarasota is a very neat fishery, and it was neat to kind of show Jay around and show him the little things here and there that you've got to do to navigate that area.
Getting out there, first thing, we want to look for activity on the bottom. You know, anything that's got any relief off the structure, whether it be the reef we're looking at or the hard bottom. We like to see a little bit of activity on the bottom so we know that is the area that they're going to be concentrated in, and we can either chum them up to the surface or even work with some knocker rigs down on the bottom to get some activity going.
So when Jay and I get excited about a bite that we know is pretty much about to happen, you know, we've got some competition going. We're not going to lie to you here. I mean, we may not talk about it and we may not say it, but it's there. So when we're bumping shoulders and elbows to try to push each other out of the way to get the first bait down, you know there's something marking on that machine that's solid.
Hey,
get him, Jay, get him, get him, get him. I got that.
Got that.
Attaboy. Oh boy. Is this all the way at the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay. He's in the motor now. Or not in the motor, in your swim platform. I got it. You got a little runner? Oh my God. Hey bud, I'm sorry, did you just catch that on the flat line?
Well, a little tiny split shot, which means to me that they're coming up to see what's going on. That's a solid mangrove snapper right there.
3-4 pounder?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Right in the quarter. Boy, he smoked it too. Mangrove snapper as a whole are an absolutely beautiful fish. You know, a lot of people don't give it a whole lot of, look. If you really just look at that fish, its eyeball, its coloration, kind of that dark maroon color, and it's you got to pay attention certainly to those nasty looking teeth. And they call them snapper, I think, because every time you put your hand close to that face, they want to grab a hold of your fingers. But it's one of those fish that once you get it away from that structure and get it out into that open air, the coloration is absolutely incredible.
We came out here for a snapper spawn, and that was our targeted species. But when big amberjacks and things of that nature, barracudas, you got bonitas, creston, when those fish show themselves, we as fishermen, it's just not in our DNA to allow that to happen and not catch those fish. All right, I can't give this guy anything because he's down in the stuff. I can feel him.
Well, the good news is he's going out.
Yeah.
Like maybe playing it off.
I think the base of it's right here though.
Now this one was cleaned.
Well.
Put this way. When I knew Jeremy was pulling on a monster, and we kind of wondered at first whether it was a permit, but the way it was fighting kind of led us to believe it was a giant amberjack. Watching him pull on that and knowing that rod he has got aluminum gimbal digging into him, we had to get him the cushion. There's no question about it. You're gonna see it pretty soon. It's coming up to the top. This is spectator
There's
sport
color.
right now.
Okay, that's an AJ.
Oh, and what appears to be a large one. Nice.
Oh man, going back to the chiropractor. Oh, that's a grown one, friend. Ready, Jay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll stay tight. Ooh.
That was my knuckle.
Says you and your Pathfinder.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Well, son, we might have to back deck this one.
I think we're gonna. I'm gonna go free spool, okay?
Yeah.
Ready for me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanna make sure I don't get in his
Yeah,
wheel.
right. You got
I'm
it?
gonna clip that.
All right. Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What do you got there?
Woo!
How many of these you wanna catch today?
Maybe I'll get one. Yeah,
This?
you're done, right?
I'm done. That's a
That's
50 pounder.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a good one, bud.
Good fish.
Okay. Well, you want me, since I got him in my hands right here, you want me to just toss him?
Feel free.
All right. I like to, go ahead, let go.
There you go.
I like to just
Give him some momentum. Yeah.
Yeah. Bully him straight down. Everybody
Yeah.
good?
Yep. Tuna style.
And there he goes.
Here you go.
Well, my friend, I like seeing you work so hard this morning.
Man.
Okay.
One of the first things that you want to do when you're out there offshore, determine which way the current's going. Very similar to fishing inshore, you need to know your tides. It's the same situation offshore. You need to identify which way your current's flowing, therefore you know where to drop baits, how to position the boat. All of it depends on the current flow strength and which way it's going. Essentially, all we're doing is trying to get those fish to come up off the bottom. And the way that we do that, in clean water, like we had out there, we're physically throwing those baits up current, letting them flow down into the water column where they'll meet those snapper, but we are basically bringing them out of their natural environment on the bottom to the top.
These snapper that are coming up to the top here for this chum they're good ones.
Yeah, these are studs, man. I mean, these are 20 inchers.
And all I'm doing after you threw that chum, all I'm doing is free drifting this piece of bait, like free drifting it with those chummers in hopes that one of them pick it up.
Because snapper are smart. It's gotta be, there they go, they're moving that way.
Yeah.
Look at this cloud of whatever's moving through here. That might be cigar minnows. But snapper won't eat it if it doesn't look like a natural presentation.
Right.
So dead or alive, it's gotta be moving slow drifts, you know?
Oh, yep.
Oh!
Oh, he's really not happy. He's
Call it, Jay, call it.
I'm calling mangrove, it's coming up awful easy.
Big Mang? Is that one of those larger? Is that one of those tanks?
Yeah, look at that.
You need some help, bud?
Yeah, I got. Oh, he's barely hooked.
Okay, okay.
Barely hooked.
This is a net right here.
Yeah, baby.
Hey.
That is a chunk and a half.
When that snapper looks big in this net, that's a big snapper.
That is perfect case scenario. Went from that 40-pound leader, right?
Yeah.
Just changed it over to 20-pound and went 10 feet long, same exact rig, and it didn't get down there 10 seconds.
And that guy, and that line just went,
Yeah.
jumped and.
Man, I love catching these snapper. Jeremy and I, we absolutely love mangrove snapper. It's one of the best tasting fish in the ocean, and really any time you get the opportunity to put a couple of those to the table, it's a great treat for anybody there to take advantage of that. So we're not really putting a whole box full of mangrove snapper together, but enough to keep a couple families for dinner and have a good time over some really good snapper fillets.
After a good day offshore, no matter where you are, really, you have that sense of accomplishment where you're running back in. You know, the wind had slicked out for us. It was flat calm. It was beautiful. We're running back in. You got a cooler with some fish in it that you know you're gonna be filleting up and have a chance to feed the family with that night, or, you know, in the near future. And it's just a good feeling. And everybody's had that feeling if you're an offshore fisherman. And it was good times, man. I'm glad we made it out there.